Hello again, Cubing World. I'm here now for season 5.5 for my contest video. First, I'm going to list a bunch of the ideas I did like. The first one was how to make a ling out better by Eth on a Wall. This is a great idea, I just don't have a ling out. One's in the mail right now though, and hopefully we can look forward to that next season. Another idea was what does a delegate do that Drew Olson submitted to me, and this is a great idea. It's one that I've definitely had for a while, and hopefully we'll see that in season 6. Renato suggested WCA clock scrambling notation, and this is one that gets suggested to me a lot, and I was definitely looking forward to doing this next season as well. Lastly, another great idea is how to be a WCA official or help a competition by Cubish. I believe that's how you say it. Also another great idea. Hopefully we'll see that season 6. Definitely a lot goes into that video, and I don't really have the resources or time to do a lot of these videos currently. So the idea I am going to roll today is why I quit cubing and why I started again, which Walker Welch submitted. The short answer to this really is, well, I started cubing in 2008, and it was my senior year of high school, and I was going to college soon, and you know, I didn't have a car at college, and really back then in 2008, I was really one of the very few Michigan cubers. I held a competition here in Michigan, but really very few people in Michigan came to that competition. It was most of the people that came were Canadians or from out of state. So I really didn't have people to carpool with to go to competitions. So I guess that's my short answer. Though there is a much deeper answer to it, and in reality, a lot of it was just I was kind of getting really fed up with a lot of the things this community does. As much as we say we're really like a friendly environment, we act very too much like a meritocracy, and that is, we respect those with the most ability. And granted, I respect Felix, I respect Mods, I respect a lot of the world record holders, but there's a lot of reasons to respect cubers besides them holding world records. You know, people who develop methods, people who are great organizers or delegates, people who program or develop tools for cubers. Those are a lot of people that I respect in this community, and many of them aren't necessarily very fast solvers at all, but they do so much to help promote this community and make it grow. And one of the main things that's really infuriated me a lot is Anthony, who's working for the Liberty Science Center. Recently he was telling me just the number of comments he gets about, from just like new cubers that are like, why aren't you Felix or Mods? Why are you doing this job? Because you're not the best. And that's just ridiculous, because Anthony has done so much in that position to promote speed cubing to a wider audience, and that should earn him respect. You know, he's not the fastest cuber in the world for sure, but he's still world class. And it's like, you know, if you go to apply to a job today, your GPA isn't going to be the only reason. Like, they're not going to look at two candidates and be like, oh, this guy's got a 4 point, this guy's got a 3.5, so clearly we're going to take this guy. I mean, it sure helps, but it's not all about that. I mean, I'm pretty fast, but I'm sure I wouldn't really be the best for that job because I'm not anywhere near as fast as Anthony is. But the main thing that Anthony has, besides being from the USA, is that he's really personable. He's one of the friendliest cubers there is out there, and he has great ideas, and he's done so many cool things with the Liberty Science Center to try to make cubing awesome. And it just really sucks that, you know, people don't accept him and don't, like, you know, support him or respect him for the job that he's doing. And this is just one example, and clearly this is more recent, but it's just, there's a lot of blind idolization, I guess, of the world record holders, and it's good to respect them, but it gets very frustrating at times. But this doesn't necessarily apply to just world-class cubers, but to all cubers that feel like, you know, they need to prove their skill of work, that, you know, that their only way of earning respect is just by becoming fast. You know, we say people should go to competitions regardless of speed, you know, and just have fun. But yet we have people bickering all the time about how others are faking solves, and they don't really have real evidence for that. Or how one person's accomplishments, you know, are just, you know, clearly are better than someone else's. You know, why, if we're really going to be, like, you know, this open, welcoming community, why are we bickering so much about this? And why do we care so much about speed? It's, I mean, of course we have to care about it somewhat, but it just seems so over the top sometimes. people should improve for their own enjoyment, whether that means beating a personal best or the world record. It should never be about proving your worth to everyone else in the community. And this may seem contradictory, you know, because world records are there to try to prove yourself to the community, but you shouldn't need to get motivation just to show everyone else that you're the best. You know, proving to yourself that you're the best is really what should be the most rewarding thing about this community. You know, the idea of self-motivation and pushing yourself to new limits. It should be fun for cubers to reach goals throughout the journey they're improving, not just at the very pinnacle of setting that goal. Because, you know, if you're practicing for a world record and it's not enjoyable for you, you're just doing it to prove to others that you can do it, then what's the point? It should be an enjoyable thing, cubing. And sometimes I think that a lot of people forget that. And thus, around late 2009, when I started college, I just kind of also myself lost the motivation to improve. You know, just the atmospheric competitions I went to just didn't really feel as welcoming as I wish they would. I was kind of satisfied with my own personal achievements at the time. When I started cubing, I really wanted to be sub 20. I had an 1843 average in one of my later competitions in 2009, and that was it. I just felt like I had achieved stuff. It was time for me to move on. And so, yeah. So, why did I start again? So, when I met my girlfriend, Lauren, in 2012, she was immediately interested in the cube when she learned I could solve one. And in fact, it was kind of funny how she figured it out. She decided to just Google my name and found immediately, of course, my WCA profile, because WCA profiles have a way of creeping up those search results. And, yeah, that's how she found out. Kind of weird, but it, you know, I haven't run away yet. So we found a competition in Hillsdale, Michigan that winter, and she was interested to see what a competitive cubing was like. And, you know, I just kind of thought, oh, this will be fun going out for old times. So I had a lot of fun at it, though, and saw a lot of really familiar faces. I'm not sure what it was, but I guess I was just really motivated to cube again. Maybe it was just due to vast equipment improvements that I felt like, you know, that I was fast already, you know, just after a 4-year break. Maybe it was just that I had someone close to me to share my hobby with. I'm not really totally sure. But I went to more and more competitions, just started practicing more and more events, and I've been to 14 competitions by the time Nationals hit, so apparently something struck me. And, you know, it's just amazing to me that my best moments really aren't with, like, Scube or Clock. You know, people think, you know, oh, you know, your best cubing moments are clearly going to be when you set really good averages or, like, world-class averages. But really, like, I'd say that the best cubing moments are the ones that are just very unexpected. One that I wasn't personally at, but I believe it was Mall of America 2011. There was a cuber that came, and she was, like, registered, and her professor made her do it for, like, some sort of, like, social experiment. But she had no clue how to solve a cube, so it was like her professor wanted her to experience public humiliation or something. I don't know. And, you know, she took her official solves and didn't get anywhere, so she DNF'd them. But then later, Chris Olsen was, like, walking her through how to do a solve on a timer, and walked her through the whole thing. She got a time in under 10 minutes, and the whole place was clapping for her. And clearly it wasn't an official solve because she doesn't actually know how to solve a cube, but it was still a really cool moment in cubing. Personally, myself, I care a lot about my competition PB streak, and recently in Cornell, I went the whole day without getting a PB. I got very close several times, and it looked like, you know, 4x4 was my last event of the day, and I missed it by, like, a quarter of a second, I think. It was stupid. But then they added Megaminx tentatively because Nick and Louie were there, and I just did my 2 solves because it was like a soft cutoff of 130, so there's no way I was making that. But I did my 2 solves. The first one was dreadful, and then the second one I got 3 seconds under my PB single, and that was probably the most excited I've ever been about a single solve at a WCA competition. So, you know, it's a lot of things about personal improvement I think we really need to stress at competitions. It shouldn't all be about showing to others, like, you know, who you are, but showing to yourself that you're improving, that you're having fun cubing. And I hope that's what we can make it all about. We'll see you next time on Cubing World.